Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I like when somebody jumps in with me on that one.
Good afternoon.
I
Yes.
just want you to know, Rachel, sorry, today's Terry Marie Day. It's not Rachel Day.
Oh,
How'd that happen? I'm not
'Cause
complaining.
she did she took one of our corporate videos that we did with human resources and onboarding,
uh-huh.
and she made it use the video that we created, and she made it her own. She put in her
Which
companies, her times. I'm going to play it. I'm going to show you.
It
I
was
can't
Right.
fun.
wait.
And
Look
it was
at
like
you.
it was so perfect. Right, like it was just so nice to see somebody do it exactly right as the way we would want it done. So
She's
let
a
me
rock
just
star.
this is a rock star moment, 100%.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so for those of you, you can see the original in the back office.
Hmm.
Okay, which I used a jot form as the company. Okay, but this is the same avatar.
Hello, my name is Mary, and I am the HR manager here at JotForm. And if your company is anything like mine, it's growing faster than we have time in the day.
Oh.
It's hard enough to find the right people for the right seats. And when you do, there is nothing more challenging for you and your team than waiting to onboard them before they can get started. What if I told you that our company, JotForm, and our interactive technology partner, Pxch, can help you onboard one new person or up to 600 people all at the same time? And you can do it with them live or during a recording. That's right. All of your new hires can fill out all the forms you need all at the same time and in complete privacy, with you there to help in a live webinar or a recording, just as I am doing with you right now. It's entirely up to you. If you want to learn how you can do this with your company, book a time on my calendar or fill out our sample intake form to get a feel. You never know if we can use you. Speak to you soon.
Right, she substituted her calendar, her company website, didn't have to change the video. Again, she could go in and do her own video recording, but as opposed to like spending another 3 hours, right? It's like, no, send it out, go to the next one, right?
Bravo.
Thank
Good
you.
for
No,
you.
no training, no coaching, no nothing, all on her own.
Good job, Terry. Actually, Terry, the work instructions you sent on creating an avatar, I sent it to Jordan. He's the
Oh, okay,
one.
it's not finished.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. That's just
Okay.
my work in process. It's going to be a PDF when I get done. That way we can share
Okay.
it with everybody.
Okay.
Or Word
Cool.
doc.
Right.
Okay. Hey, Dave, a couple of things. So they're checking now, so we'll have an answer for you shortly. As we speak on those accounts for you. Um, they also told me that assigning random people in breakout rooms is already there. We just have to try it. You and I have to actually try it once. I don't want to try it now because of the volume, right? They're fixing that issue. But as opposed to develop it, they went like, "What's the matter with you? Did you play with it? It's there. It exists." Okay. So anyway, one for us on that side.
I'd
Uh,
like to be part of that if we can schedule something because you do need quite a few people to do your breakout rooms just to
yeah,
help with the numbers.
yeah.
So,
No, so Dave and I were doing it. We were practicing. He was kind enough to use me as the guinea pig, or I was using him. I don't know which one, right? But and we felt and we saw one or two things that needed to be tweaked. So they're doing that today, this afternoon, and now and then maybe tomorrow, live during this meeting, is where I would love to actually do it. Show it to you from the point of view as the guest, and then show it to you from the point of view as if you're hosting it and doing it. So
Yeah, the
Right.
reason
that's
we're
my
doing this, Terry, is I got a meeting Friday, and I got to try to get this.
Oops.
oh, we lost you there for a
froze.
second, Dave.
Oh,
Oh, you're back.
okay. The reason we're doing this, Terry, is because I got a meeting Friday, a new type of meeting, and we're trying to get everything worked out before Friday.
And what was also nice is Dave liked version 2 breakout rooms better than version 1, which is kind of nice when we don't just copy, we improve. The interactive websites worked in the breakout room. We still have to tweak it where it'll be when you have a smart link. So it's different websites in different breakout rooms the person goes. But right now, it's still working as an interactive website in the breakout room. So,
Wow, that's great. I have a
yeah,
question.
It's a great
I have
moment.
a qu- I
Yeah,
have a
and
question.
Rachel, we
What?
did find a tweak too in the international translations that sometimes people's pop-up software was blocking that from coming up. So they did that fix this morning. So the next time you try it, and that should work where it'll never fail to pop up again.
Okay, well, I was doing a meeting today. We started on Google Meets, and I said, I want to show, she'd never heard about Pitch, never heard about LifeWave. I said, go out of, close it out. I said, here's the link, come over to Pitch. And guess what? Interactive wouldn't work. Did not work.
It's working now. I had a glitch too at this afternoon
Okay,
on it.
that wasn't just
And
me,
so,
right?
no, it was happening to me, in that
Oh.
sense. And
Okay,
yeah, so what was weird, what happened this afternoon is we have a lot of AI agents that work in the background for us that do things, in terms of the code. And one of those AI agents that's responsible for the seamless transition between standard and interactive went on the blink, right? So it didn't not work, but you had to hit the button twice. So if you hit standard, it actually like shut it off. And then if you hit it again, it would work, right? So it didn't work, but it was this double clicking that you had to do. And so, but just so you know, I just tested it before the meeting. It's back to normal.
okay, because standard worked, and then I went interactive, and I went right back to just our faces. And I said,
No, I
this is
knew
crazy.
I could not face Cheryl today if that wasn't working. She wouldn't,
Yeah.
she wouldn't cut me any slack. So I know I had to get it fixed before this meeting.
Okay, so anyway, so I had to I rescheduled the meeting for next week because she really wants to know more about it, and she's excited about both sites and both businesses. But
Good.
it wouldn't work, and I was like, oh,
No, you're good. That was one of those that's the great thing about doing demos all day. I'm the first to know usually when something is
what
not
it
working,
doesn't.
in that
Yeah.
side. So it was a glitch. Les,
Yeah.
how are you, my friend? You got a question?
Yes. First off, I'd love to see a demonstration of that breakout room you just talked about. But the two questions is, how do I put a PowerPoint in? And the second one is, I ran into something today, and I realized that I need to know how this works. When you have somebody interactive, needless to say, they're in control. So my question is, if you have 50 people on the webinar and you've got it in standard, nobody can do anything until you release it. But what if you're educating on one part and another person wants to sign up while it's in standard? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying, so that's where there's certainly limitations, right? It's kind of like sometimes hard to have cake, eat it too, and the main course, right? So
Okay.
you have to design your presentations. Like I say with international voice translations, right? If you just turn the button on and pretend it's not happening, it's not going to be a great experience versus being conscious of people have to be on mute, that you should literally pause, let the translation sometimes do it for you, right? It's the same thing with interactive. So I'll give you an example, right? If I'm doing Juice Plus, I'm doing Amway, right? And I'm showing 5 products. I'm going to highlight 5 products that I want everyone to see today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up one product, make my explanation about that product or service, and then I'm going to say to everyone, what I want you guys to do now, if you can, if you think you may want to buy the product, you don't have to make that decision right now. Just put it in your cart. Just put it in your cart now, and you can go back to check out, because I'm going to bring up 4 more products. Right?
Okay.
So you see what I mean? Sometimes it's
Yeah.
just how you use the technology that solves a technology problem,
Okay.
in that sense. So that right now, I think that it's, again, learning how to be a great presenter, and that happens over time. The second thing we are going to introduce, right, is where you will be able to share a screen in a collaborative experience with a person. So you both will have access to the screen. So let's say
Right.
you're on a meeting with 20 or 30 people, and one person is really struggling filling out the form. You'll be able to, in a sense, pull them into a breakout room, think of it that way, and be collaborative, and you could actually fill out the form for them. And they could fill out the first line, you fill out the second line. So that's the idea. Is obviously we don't want 500 people, all working on somebody's order form at the same time, but figuring out that UX is just something that I think is valuable, especially for a lot of one-on-ones. Like we have people that work with Medicare. So every single person they come on is over 65 years old, and everyone can't hear. They don't have their glasses, right? It's really
Right.
hard, right? for them. So sometimes just let me do the screen for you. I'll just do it. But the person wants to see it, right? They also still want to be able to touch it. So
Right.
that's
Okay.
how we're going to solve that one. Okay.
And the PowerPoint?
So PowerPoint, you have two choices. You can open up a PowerPoint the way you would in Zoom, right? And then share a window, right? Instead of sharing
Okay.
a tab, right? You'll share a window because it's like a PDF. It's a document. And as soon as you open it up and you hit share a screen, you'll see a picture of it in the middle where it says window in the middle, and
Right.
you click on it and you can do that and you can control it. The other way to do it, to take advantage of our player, so to speak, is you can go to a website and convert your PowerPoint into a Google Slides presentation. And there's a lot of free softwares that do that. And then as soon as you do that, and now it's in Google Slide format because you saved it to Google Drive, you would go here, okay? And then you would see where it says here, My Presentations.
Yes.
Okay, so you go to My Presentations. And when you want to upload a new one, these are ones I've uploaded in the past, okay? So
Okay.
when I've uploaded a new one, I hit upload, and every Google Slide presentation has a slide ID number. And you'll see that when you're in your Google Drive, and if not, I'll help you find that. And literally
Okay.
all you do is you type in that ID number, you hit upload, and then it'll be here.
Okay.
Okay. And then now when you're playing a presentation, and let me do that for you. Let me stop sharing this one. Okay. And now now let's say, for instance, you uploaded it, you got your best presentations in there. Okay. I'm going to go here for a sec. Okay. Sorry.
That's the middle button.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on a second. I gotta find my presentation again. There it is. Okay, so stop share. 1 second. Go back to here. Sorry, when I have so many tabs open, I can't find my tab button. Right? Okay, go to window. There it is. Okay, we should be good now. There we go. Okay, so let's say I'm going to start. I'm in the middle of a meeting,
Right.
and I've loaded that presentation. Okay, so now I'm in that meeting, and it's the same way that I when I share a website, it's the same button, share website, which is going to be that in here. So now I go to share website. What we don't usually say is you not only can share a website here, if you notice the tab right here, it says slides.
Right.
You just click on slides, and those presentations that you loaded up previously are all right here.
As long as they're Google Docs.
Yes, and eventually we'll make it where it's more than Google Docs. It was just that was really easy for us to do, but we'll have it where you can upload ever. It's just not so easy to get other documents to play within this player.
Sure.
So as soon as I do that, so now it'll always show me the next slide, and since the presentation hasn't started yet, it's showing me the first slide, right? And maybe I don't want to start it on slide 1. Maybe I'm going to want to start it on slide 5 because maybe it's the second time I presented it, right? But at any time I want, I'm going to hit start sharing, and that's why it plays so beautiful, and I'm in control. I can go backwards, I can go forward, I could stop sharing. And then I can immediately, I hit stop sharing, X this out, just find that X. And I can now go back to share a website instead, share another slide presentation, or just stop sharing it all.
Okay.
And when we're talking about the breakout rooms, like I say, I'm going to probably save that for tomorrow, because of Dave's help and us tweaking things. But just you see right here, what we've done with some of these buttons is because we don't want to have any more buttons, right? It's like I think you see they have enough buttons on the bottom, right? I have one extra button here on mine. That's access to some bugging testing that we do, but everyone else has the same exact buttons as I do, right? But if you click on people, that's where we have the breakout rooms.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so you click on breakout rooms here, and it pops up. And here's where you live again, because there's nobody in here, so there's no one to assign, right?
Right.
But literally, you can assign them all. You can assign them all by choosing people in the room. What I found out this afternoon, I was talking about, is you can assign them randomly. like Dave had made this suggestion, and I guess our team was aware of it. Let's say I've got 50 people in it, and I don't
Sure.
want to spend all day assigning 50 people in a room. I could hit assign and divide it up into the number of groups. So it'll automatically, evenly, as much as possible, just assign people to that group. Or if I do want to take the time, I can literally manually put or slide and drag people into those groups and then change them around at any time. So that's what I meant tomorrow. If I'm comfortable enough and I know we have no bugs on that, then I will try to do that, this week for you guys. Okay.
So when you put them in the rooms, does it allow you to do random each time?
Well, it's up to you. You're, as the host, like you're in control, like sharing the website. You can put people in specific rooms. You can randomly change people in the rooms. So it can
Okay.
auto assign, or you could assign. That's what's kind of nice. Like we have one potential client who is going to be using an AI agent to assign people to a room. We're going to try to do
Okay.
a special integration for him,
Sure.
because he's like a competitor to Alignable.
Okay.
Is what he's opening up as his own company. And so when he comes to a meeting, he wants AI based on the form they filled out to automatically recommend the people and assign them to a breakout room.
Okay.
So I thought it's a pretty cool idea.
Sure.
That's why we're willing to do it that way and see if it
Okay.
works. And if it works, then we'll use it for everybody. But he's using it for his own company. But it's really easy to do if
Right.
once we test it. So from that point of view, that's something we would look to be helpful.
Now, every time I try to make another meeting like you're doing, it says meeting is already in session. How do you make two?
Because I have 2 licenses.
Oh, okay.
That's why that's my trick.
Okay.
And so, yeah. And so what we do is, like, for instance, like a lot of you guys know Ray Jeton, right? One of our original founding distributors, and he does demos, a lot of demos. So, one day I said to him, Ray, let me just give you another account, so you could do what I do, right? So if anyone gets to that point where they want to do demos and show the back office, I'd be happy to give you another account, for that purpose, at no charge, to make you guys better presenters.
Sure.
And so eventually we'll just have, like free accounts that you could always use for demos. Right. And obviously if I see somebody, hosting meetings with 300 people on those accounts, after a while I go, okay, I think you
Right.
misunderstood the intention here. But the idea, really is, how do we make that? But
So
yes, that's why you can't have simultaneous meetings on the same license. Otherwise,
Sure.
no one
I
would.
mean, but you did, so I thought you had some magic, but now it's just 2 accounts. It's simple.
Unless you make me tell all my secrets. I hate that.
Really.
See, they think I'm so good.
You have to be Mr. Oz. You have to come behind the counter, out behind the curtain.
So what level would you have to be to get a duplicate account?
You don't have to be at any level. For me, the level is engagement, right? If you're going to use it, right? It's kind of like, there's nothing worse than doing a favor for somebody and then you go, how come you never used it? I had the whole team set up this special account, So I don't care if you're brand new or you're experienced, just that, if you want it, I'll have it set up for you,
Okay. Yeah, because I'm
idea.
trying to show people different things. And I do have a question if nobody else does. So I want to go through questions first, but
Sure.
related to our training or testing that we did.
Go ahead. Feel free. Jump in.
So making ambassadors. I showed you the page that I'm using that I'm going to have as a screen. It has the link on there for them to sign up for Pxch. The whole idea is showing them how it's interactive, and then it draws their attention that they want to sign up for Pxch. So with that, there's 2 ways. They can sign up now, or they can schedule an intro meeting with me. But I want to have ambassadors where they come in to be able to, if they refer people and somebody signs up for Pxch, they get the credit because they're the ones that brought them. So with that being said, I know the ambassador part isn't working and you're working on that. That's fine. But I have the link for that page Do I use that link? And I know you have to add something so that other people don't get credit for, like, if I refer people in, other people don't get credit for the people I bring in. So I have to add a part to it. Do I add a part to that page, or do I just have my unique ID?
I'm not sure I followed all of that. So let me bring up the page where everyone's talking about, or, from that point of view, right? So hold on a second here. Let me share this, and then let me just bring up, hold on a second here. Okay. Share this tab instead. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to the pricing page, right? And I'm going to the join now page, right? This is the one we're talking about where people would sign up for free. Notice it says 0, right? So up to this point, are we on the same page?
Yeah, and I'm good with this part. They actually signed up and got their URL and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so if they signed up and got their URL, what I didn't understand from your question, I just forwarded exactly what you said to them to investigate. So they got a URL, they got an affiliate page, right? They got their own referral page. So then you tried to set up a meeting using their affiliate link.
Yeah, so when you set up an ambassador, you put their email, their first and last name, their company. It creates a user. You can change it. It's supposed to send them an email, and then they put their affiliate in there, and then it links it to the meeting. They're
Okay,
not
so
getting
hold on a
the
second.
email.
One sec. So hold on. So the point of where you're suggesting, not suggesting, reporting, sorry, that the process broke down. They were able to sign up for free. They were able to get their affiliate link, right?
Mhm.
But you're saying they didn't get an email acknowledging to them what their affiliate link is. Is that the breakdown?
No.
If they didn't get the email?
No, they got that. So they got all that part done.
Okay.
Now we're trying to set up the meeting.
Okay. So now here I'm going in, right? So everyone kind of sees what you're talking about, right? So now I'm setting up, the idea of this is I'm going to be setting up a co-host meeting, or sorry, see, I got to learn smart ambassador meeting, right? Okay. So now I'm clicking interactive. And now I'm going to click on here where I'm going to be setting up these. Okay. And I'm going to, for argument's sake, say, this is Pxch, right?
We don't see you
Just
moving your screen.
What's that? You can see my screen?
No, we still see register information.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. So I'm here,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. And now I'm going to choose my replicated website because I'm going to invite my own guests. Okay. So we're clear up to here. Okay. No change, right? You're able to get.
Slight question here.
Okay.
So on the replicated ID,
Mm-hmm.
Remember the page I showed you?
I don't remember the URL, no, or the page. Sorry.
Okay, well, it's a different page.
Okay, but remember, this page only matters for your guests. Doesn't affect. I mean, as long as it's the shared URL, it has to be the same URL. It can't be mypitch.com and the other one is, Amway.com. Right? It's not going to work. Right? So they all have to be under this, same domain, so to speak. That's the whole point of affiliate and replicated websites. They're under the same domain. They all have the 100% identical, same pages, same shopping cart in that perspective, right? So is that a breakdown? Are you not using the same domain for you as you are for your guests? This is what I kept saying to you, like, are we trying to sell Herbalife? Or are we trying to sell Pxch, right?
So it's only selling Pxch, but they weren't able to get that link. But I have another question about this part.
Wait,
but this wasn't the part that I was having troubles with.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Let me go through it. So this part, we're all good, right? In that sense. Okay. So now I'm here, and now I'm trying to set up a new person because they're brand new. They just signed up for free, right? So you're here now. And for argument's sake, I'm putting in an email. It assigns them an automatic username, right? First name, last name. And just, again, for my records, don't have to no accuracy makes a difference, right? So now I've set them up. Okay.
Right. And when you hit send, they're supposed to get an email.
So again, let's assuming I picked Harry. I picked, another version of me. Pick 3 people. And so now it's confirming these are my 3 ambassadors, right? Now I'm going to hit continue.
But see, that's where the issue was, is they're not getting that email.
Okay. So I'm saying, that's what I was saying to you earlier. So they were able to be set up in the system. No problem. You have the right referral links. That's what I said earlier. The only thing they weren't getting, I'm confusing the emails. The first email I was talking about was that their account was set up correctly. But you're saying for you, in the testing you've done, they didn't get the email from here. So as soon as I hit create meeting, right?
And they didn't get that
email will go out. Okay. No, that's an easier fix than there was something wrong in the flow of the way the
So I
process
sent you the text that shows you their URL.
Yeah, no, that's what I forwarded to everybody. So
Okay.
they're looking at that. So what I'm saying, again, trying to make it universal to everyone, is you saw that I set up 3 accounts. Doesn't matter if they're free members, doesn't matter if they're paid members. It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter if they're pitch members, right? It's all the same. In that sense that I've set up 3 people, and it tells me, right, what exactly what their smart link is. Like you say, in an emergency where they didn't get the email, and you were in a hurry, right? You don't have time for customer support to go, where's the email, right? At least you know what the link should be, right? But they still have to get that form, because without the form, that link, won't be activated, right? Because we don't know what their replicated website is. But at least we know here that it went through. And then I would end this and go to the dashboard. But that, I'm sorry, at the expense of everyone, I have a clear understanding now of where the process worked, but the end result didn't work on them getting those emails. And I'll check with that. Now, and I'm sure that you asked them to check their spam and their junk, because I know you're smart enough to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I still had to ask that just in case. Okay. So.
And do you mind if I share a screen?
No, I just stopped sharing. Go right ahead.
Okay. Bear with me, guys. It's going to get screwy for a second.
Practice.
Well, it's going to be, you'll see what I mean, because it's the only way I know how to do it. Okay, so this is the screen that when we do the interactive meeting, close this out. This is the screen that they would see. And this right here, like nobody can sell anything off of here, but when they click here, then they'll get into the pitch. Then they're going to go into the pitch one, and then they can buy it. So in the page that I'm using for my meeting is this page right here. But their links are all for pitch because I'm selling pitch. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I don't know if it works that way. I'm saying
okay, it doesn't work like that.
I'm saying we didn't design it to work that way. It might work that way, right? I'm saying, but because you're using a different URL for yours than you are for theirs, which may be why they didn't get the email. Maybe that is the disconnect, because they're saying they don't match. So what I'm saying to you is, what you have the ability to do in the meeting, and I bet I get, and this could be the issue, right? Is, let's say you have your meeting, right, with that link, but you could still bring up any other website you want before the meeting starts. You're not stuck only with that website, So
I know in version 1 you're stuck.
In version 2 you're not stuck. I'm saying, so that's what I meant, is you have the option to bring up other interactive sites. So let's say, for instance, like Tuesday night, tonight's phone call. There's like 69 people with co-host links, right? You know what I mean? So when they come in as a guest or they come in themselves, they're coming in on their own invite link. Technically, it's tied to a website. When I bring up the Pxch.com site, all 69 websites come up, and all those people can check out on that page. But when the meeting starts, if I shut it off, if I'm not sharing an interact and I want to bring up Amway, I can do that as the host, right? I could bring up any site I want, even though I created the meeting using that pitch.com site. I really don't have to start the meeting that way in that sense, right? So, I mean,
Okay, so if we're running the meeting, like I set it up with Pitch, I use that URL later, and they still
correct.
click on Pitch, then they still go to their pitches, right?
That I'm not sure that flow works, right? So that's what I meant is it's not designed to break the chain. See, like one of the biggest fears that we have, we know people go, this is BS, right? Is I've brought my guests and they didn't check out on the right side. Right. So we really keep that tight. So when someone comes in on that URL, they can only go on that website. They're guests. They can't go, they could go to another website because the host brings up a completely different website, right? But they can't get out of that bubble. You know, so that's what I meant is what I'm the other, we've already broken the chain, you know. So them clicking on your site doesn't activate our system to be able to do that. So that's where I think there could be, it would be interesting if you go back in and just create another test meeting using the pitch site and see if they get the emails and let them know you're just sending them a test, right? And that might be the issue. So, because the idea, like I say to you, if somebody brings in a guest and they go, oh my God, you know, this guy was ready to buy and wasn't my website. It was the host's website instead. It's a disaster, right? That's like our bread and butter. And so part of that magic is we've created that so tightly where it physically can't happen, you know? So that's why that could be the problem. Now, again, having said that, maybe the team will say, oh, this is what they do. Oh, do you want it to be where it's the other way around? Do you know what I mean? Do you want them to be able to start with one website and do the other, right? And then we talk about it. Is it possible to do it without sacrificing, you know, any of the risks? So that's why when you bring up something, I don't immediately go, well, that's not the way we do it, you know. But because I'm saying maybe we can do it that way. Maybe it's better to do it that way. But I know why inherently we didn't create it that way in that sense. So I'll definitely come back to you. But I have a feeling that I'll explain it to the team now that I'm clear, you know, in that sense. Okay.
Okay. And I'll try another test when we get off of here, creating it for them, see if they get the email.
Correct. Perfect. Okay. No, that was very. I'm sorry if it wasn't productive for everyone else, but it's really productive for me and Dave. So I'm really good because it's not like a customer service issue. I'm trying to, where I'm so interested in it is, you know, the big picture. You know, how will you guys potentially use the platform in ways that we didn't envision? Right? It's always an interesting conversation to me that bringing it up in that sense. Go ahead, Jake. Welcome, Jake. Hi, Jake.
Hey, brother. I just took the plunge yesterday, so I'm on board. And appreciate the short meeting we had yesterday, but it was productive.
Oh, good.
In the end. I have a question. So I may market this, not necessarily on purpose, but I wanted to see, I do a lot of meetings. And when I start hosting them through Pitch, I want to know what's your experience with, you're not trying to market it, but you're using it and people are going to say, how did you do that? What is the protocol to broach that subject or connect the dots on that without going to a sales pitch?
Yeah. Well, assuming that it's your meeting, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's your people, so you don't have to, you know, apologize for that. But you're right. I would say to you that this is the only technology you will use for a long period of time where the business will chase you.
Right.
Instead of doing that. So it's almost impossible not to, right? As long as we're this original experience. So what I would say to you is, I don't think that it's an awkward protocol, you know, to simply say, yeah, if you want to use this technology too, it's a great company. If you want, does everyone want, I could bring this up and I could give you a quick, you know what I mean? It's so organic and natural because they're asking you, you know? And so, and then I would be very clear is because I think what makes people feel comfortable in that environment is you can say, you know, what the best thing about this is it's not just another opportunity that you should look at. This is something that could really build your real estate business, really build your insurance business, really build your LifeWave business, right? Let me show you how it works. And you just stay focused on that part of the conversation first, right?
Yeah, let
So
me
they're
tell you
not
how we're using it and how it's helped us.
let me show you. I mean, what's really powerful if you say, let me show you how in 2 minutes it could build your business. What's your website? If you say to them, what's your, not, let me show you my website. What's your website?
What's yours?
Put it in,
Yeah.
and always have them put it in the chat because we always type it wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
and then
right,
cut
right.
and paste it from the chat. And then you can literally say that before you get too deep in it. Does anyone else want me to bring up their website? Right.
Yeah,
So
I do
it's
a lot
kinda-
of I do a lot of one-on-ones with companies that we're looking at doing business with anyway.
right.
And so I'm doing business with one-to-many marketing type situations where this company has, you know, a list of 150 companies that they do business with that could
Right.
lead to those companies. And so I will want to probably talk about also some form of how can you revenue share with someone as an affiliate position based on, I don't want to sell it, but yeah, I could offer it to my businesses as another offer on our plate to give our clients from the person I'm talking with.
100%. And what I always, you know, say to people, this is the only, sorry, I did the wrong button. Hate that.
You're there.
Yeah. No, sorry. I
Something
did
wrong.
2 meetings. I hope I don't lose you guys. That's fine. Did I lose you? No, good. No, I was sorry. I was trying to show you something. Not successfully. In that sense. Jake, are you there? Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. You see me?
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. So that's the great part about the Share website, right? Is that you always have, right, at the touch of a button, you know, live during a meeting. I'm just joining this other meeting now. It should be fine. So, like you say, so that scenario happens. I'm in this meeting, and the guy says, "Yeah, can you bring up a pitch presentation?" Sure. I hit share website, and it's in my favorites. My website is right there. It's like I'm not stumbling right at the right point for them to want to sign up. I literally could just bring up my pitch page, and I could finish it right there. Or you could ask them to go to the very upper right hand corner here, and they could pop it up in their browser in a new tab, and they can do it after the meeting, and it'll be your replicated website. So there isn't that pressure because we're all here. You have to finish it now. I'm saying, but if literally you have people say, I want to read more about this website. Can you send me the link? Oh, I don't have to send you the link. Just copy it. I just brought up the web page. It'll be in your browser when the meeting is over.
Okay, cool. I also have an idea, and I don't know if anybody's ever thought of this because I'm brand new. You say, "Oh yeah, everybody does that." Jake. Approach someone that you have a connection with, and say, "You know what? Why don't you let me host your webinar for you? Because I have something else," and actually do their webinar as the host, and take their links or whatever they would have never thought about doing, and do it for them to just as a demonstration and a live situation if they're, you know, if they trust me enough to be able to do that.
And that's the magic word. You know, do they trust you enough, or do they think that's too invasive to give you their names of emails of people, because they're going to have to give you the names of people to go set that meeting
Okay,
up.
gotcha.
Right. So again, it's how close you are with somebody, or if it's a very small meeting, they won't care, you know, and happy to, and they'll do it for you. But remember, in a really quick, short period of time, let's say you're the host of the meeting, and they're on the meeting as a guest, and you'll be able to make them a co-host. And so they will be able to bring up their website themselves, you know, for that perspective. But yeah, I would say that that's probably a lot of work, and it could feel like
Gotcha.
you're overwhelming them, as opposed to just doing a demo with their website
Right. Gotcha.
in
Okay.
that perspective, right?
Curious.
Anyone else have any questions? Terry, you got
I
an
do.
award today. You can't have a question and an award. You can only
I'll
have
wait till
one
tomorrow.
today.
We were talking about the presentations from the Google
Yes.
PowerPoint
Slides.
presentations. Now, I know that the PowerPoint itself has two different extensions. One is the regular PowerPoint where you manually click and do what you want it to do. And then there's where you set it up as an automatic slideshow, and that's a different extension to the file name. Does that work with this as well? I haven't really done the Google side of it, so I don't know.
Well,
But can you have it as a PowerPoint slideshow instead of just a
yes.
presentation?
Yeah, Google Slides is pretty rich in that feature.
It does
I'm
both.
saying it does both. Yeah. So, and remember, there's different ways to present it. You know,
Yeah.
you like if you want to use a Google slide presentation the way it was designed to use in Zoom and Google Meets, you wouldn't hit share website, right? You would hit screen share,
Mm-hmm.
and you would just go to the Google Drive tab, right, that you have on your browser, and open it up. You can open it up right from Google Drive, right from the tab, and you could play it that way. So that's what I meant. There's a lot of options, right? In the sense, like I always say, is we could do it exactly the way Zoom does it, right? If you don't want to learn anything new, right? You love your presentation, you don't want to change it. But that part of the show, you could just do screen share, right? That's
Right.
the beauty of it. Just the way if I was playing a YouTube video, I'm going to use screen share, right? For now, you know? So that's where the experience is of becoming a host is you got all these tools in the tool chest, right? Which is easy, which is fast, which is great to do, you know? As opposed to, because I'm using Pxch, I can't use my PowerPoint. So I don't want anyone to have to say that, right? That would be a step backwards. You don't want to have one step backwards to two step forwards. So
I just
so
didn't
that's
know
why
if it would do a slideshow opposed to a manual,
I'm
like
just
how
I'm
you were
just
showing advance to the next slide. But it does that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
yeah,
need to
because
know.
like as a host, remember you can go full screen. You can make this into the movie set, you know, that people will see, and so they'll only see that presentation. You know, you have all those kind of options.
Okay,
be
and
able
then
to do that.
another real quick. This was actually for Cheryl because she won't do it. Apparently, Zoom has where you can do an enhancement on yourself for your presentation. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
add a little bit of
yeah. We are in the middle of working on that, where you can do a lot of things. You can make yourself look 10 years younger. You could do like you do with TikTok and Instagram and put ears on yourself if you want. It's actually, yeah. So we're experimenting with 4 or 5 different technologies to go do it. It's really pretty easy. It's not a big deal. But
Oh, okay.
we have one woman, right? She says, I will not leave my Zoom until you can soften my look. Not doing it, no matter what. I don't care what feature you offer. So we're definitely gonna work on that. So
Thank you.
tell her she's on point. Yep. So that's at the same time we'll fix the whole background thing, because it's all related to the same scenario
Yeah,
where you'll be able to set up the background before the meeting, you know.
because they're
And,
not saving apparently. If mine does,
Correct.
but I'm not. I don't like. Well, I do host.
Yeah,
and
but
I
you're
don't
but
really
you're
remember,
but you're special. So.
well, good. Do I get one more question that I wanted to ask yesterday? If nobody,
Yes, you
I'll
do.
wait till the end if nobody else has anything.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What we were talking about are different links. Now I have the 2 that has, it's just the my/Terry Marie. And yeah, it's limited because the E is dropped on Terry. So, but that's okay. And then I have the meet.pxch.com/Terry Marie, fully spelled out, /the numbers. What are the differences with those? Because I'm putting all the my Terry Marie in my calendary. So it points to that. And I've been putting my appointments that I have, my meetings that I'm giving in Pxch. So I have it that way with their, because I put in their websites before the meeting starts. I get all that information. And
Yeah, they both work. You can copy and paste and use either one. But we did notice, right, that sometimes there's a glitch that sometimes when people are trying to join the meeting, it'll say meeting's not available or something, right? And there is something they figured out yesterday because there's those two links of one, like you say, one with the numbers and one with the name.
Mhm.
And so I believe we'll have that resolved, by tomorrow. That'll never happen again, right? And it's like, again, we're confusing the system with the two links. So sometimes schedule meeting or as an instant, so definitely it's been on our end. So your question is raised, but I'm going to hold off answering it because I want to
Okay.
see what the fix is tomorrow, in that sense. But I know they definitely identified it, and I know they're in our test server, right? Testing the fix on that right now.
okay.
Yeah. So what I love about these things, like it's like we're in the last mile questions versus the first mile questions, right? Like when I'm doing the demo with Dave today, right, on the breakout rooms, as opposed to, well, after that, you might as well have started over. We got nothing right. You know what I mean? It's like, no. You just need this little tweak. You just need this little thing. Okay. I feel like at least now everything that happens, right, it's either like a really quick thing. We know what happened, like Rach with the translations, right? As opposed to, no, we just got some big problem and it's going to take forever to fix. We're at the last mile of this cleanup for all of this stuff now. And so I feel like really good when every issue that someone's bringing up isn't like, I don't know, that's a goo boy. That's tough. It's like, okay, we're going to get it done. The only one I know that I have is going to be tough, and that's for less, is the HIPAA compliant one. That's going to be a little tricky. That's not going to be an overnight one to do it for that. Like we're HIPAA compliant, but there's all these outside agencies that want to certify you to HIPAA compliant for people. And that's more work than being HIPAA compliant. So that's a little bit, it's something that we'll certainly do. It's just, when do we do it? Right now, my focus, and I know you'll appreciate it, is getting these last features out of the co-host link, the CRM, all that kind of good stuff to get to the next phase. So anyone else have anything? Remember, tonight we do have our Tuesday night special, and I did my special guest is rendering. And I think when he comes on, it's different. We're not doing, there's no tech guru tonight. There's no more Zuckerberg tonight. There's no Elon Musk. We're just going to have some fun tonight with the person that I think you'll go, oh, that's sweet. I like.
Does he start with a T?
Does he what?
Does he start with a T?
No.
No, Dave.
You did not guess it this week. Okay.
Now, on the language one, Steve, I added Russian to that. The one you did with 3 languages, I put Russian at the last 4. So I have 4 languages in that one.
It's brilliant, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you were gonna get that.
What can I say, right? So
Yeah.
my grandmother used to speak it. It kind of goes in my head, So
Jake, you want to end us with the last question? You got one more?
me, that was it.
Oh, Jake. Oh, when I see Jake Robinson, I always think of Jackie Robinson, because when I was 13, right, I was in Manhattan with my father, and he was buying me a baseball glove at Paragon Sporting Goods, and Jackie Robinson walked into the store, right, and he signed my glove, right, and the first thing my father said to me is, "You still got to use that glove. I'm not buying you another glove. This is too expensive." I always remember that moment, right?
So can you give me some direction on, I don't know anything about the structure of the company, how it's laid out, how compensation is done, how people that are interacting with the company, whether they're employees or affiliates or agents, or is there a resource somewhere that I can get that type of information on my own? I don't want to bug you guys.
Yeah, there's some places on the website, that we can link you to that talks about the comp plan and all those perspectives. But let me give you the 5-minute version, right?
Okay.
And the reason we don't talk a lot about us, right, is does Zoom talk a lot about Eric? Does IBM talk a lot about Ross Perot at today's? It's like it's always companies that my background is they make themselves the issue, right? And that, you know, we're the greatest, and therefore you're lucky to be here and go sell our products, right? We want the company to be the issue. But number one is, and again, I say this 100 times, so I can say it pretty quick, right? So for 25 years, I was the CEO of 3 different international sales and marketing companies, you know, network marketing companies that did about $4 billion in sales, right? So that was my credibility. I then went on to run Success Magazine, Success Partners, Direct Selling News, and kind of stopped Success Magazine from going chapter 11. That's why they brought me in. So I had a good pedigree. And then I became a consultant to all my old competitors and started to build technology to be a better consultant. And so that's how we got there, right? And then at some point, right, as opposed to being a consultant, I think when you've been a CEO of a company for a long time, you're really not good at people saying no to you and your ideas, right? And when you're a consultant, it's like I always say to them, you guys drove this company into the ditch. You asked me to help you take it out, and then you don't listen to me. You're just deeper in the ditch. You're paying me, but you're just going deeper in the ditch. And
That
so
is the bane of consultants.
right? And so it just wasn't as enjoyable to me. And that's when I thought maybe, you know, I should just go back and have work for myself instead of working for everybody else, right? And while I was in the middle of thinking about that process, Zoom approached me about trying to get market share before going public. And so I built Zoom. I said, again, I'm not going to go work for Zoom. Right? I don't want to be a consultant. But if you allow me to own the customers, you allow me to have unprecedented access to your APIs and build a solution that Zoom doesn't offer. I'll do that under my brand. I'll say powered by Zoom because that gives me the credibility. And that formula was a great success. And we became the largest ISV partner to Zoom in the world. And then, like anything else, another CEO moment where I'm decided to tell Zoom what they need to do next, and they didn't appreciate that, and I didn't appreciate that they said no to me. So we decided to partner, instead of partner, compete with them, based on the experiences that we're showing you here. And then my partner in the company, Dave, who is one of the most successful people in direct selling history in terms of building huge sales organizations, he said to me when I was in the middle of building this, he said, "What's the matter with you?" He goes, "Why are you going to go sell this to all the other network marketing companies in the world like you did with Zoom?" He goes, "Why don't you, do it yourself, do it for you, and I'll support you in any way I can." And we became partners. And so that's why we went, into the call it affiliate, call it network marketing, call it model. It doesn't matter what you call it, right? It's basically partnering with people like yourselves to take it to the market. And so we basically devised a cash rewards program that we think everyone always does, that is different than everybody else's, right? With the elements of what everyone has done in the past. And we basically had a philosophy that 50 cents of every dollar that comes in is going to go back out to the sales reps. And that's our partnership with them in that sense. And then, but of course, I wanted to do it in a way that I felt was never done before. So that's why we developed a customer program, an affiliate influencer program, and then a full-on back-end program where you can earn the kind of money that people in New Skin and Herbalife and those did, but they all had to seamlessly work together. And so that's why we were one of the few companies that said, we don't care if you ever buy the product. We don't care if you ever pay us a dime. You get the same cash reward system as anyone else who's using the product. Now, we think the best way to get people is for them to be using the product. We want that product to speak for itself. And so when it comes to the compensation program, is you make anywhere from $50, $75, or $100 for every single person you sign up, whether you've ever given us money or not. And then as soon as you sign up 5 customers, you know what? You're not doing it by an accident anymore. You decided to do this as a business. And so now you start to get the residuals. And you get 10, 20, 30% residual. And if you're at 30% and somebody else you brought in is at 10%, the difference rolls up to you. So you could be as wide and as deep as you want on that 10, 20 and make a living like influencers do just off that 10 to 30, 20 and 30%. But someone like Dave is going to come in and he's going to go, I want people to be at 30% too. I don't want to root for them not to be at 10 or 20%. I want them recruiting, right? I want them bringing in people. So what's in it for me when someone's at the same level that I am and there's no more differential? And that's when it looks like more traditional back-end program, because now we pay you anywhere on team sales of 5 to 11% royalty overrides, on that. So the money never stops. If the behavior never stops, the money never stops. So I always just say, if you sign up people and they sign up people and you never looked at our compensation plan ever, you're going to get paid the same, as if you're maximizing it. Now, is it good to know it? Is it good to have those targets and the goals? So what does it take to get to 20% instead of 30%? All that is on the webpage, and we can take you through that.
That makes more sense.
But philosophically, it's kind of like, I think people always go back to what they know, and they go, can we do it better?
So Steve, what if Zoom starts looking at what you're doing and says, we messed up. We should have brought his ideas on, and they decide, well, let's just go compete with him and do what you're doing. Do you think they can pull it off?
I would say to you two ways, because I get asked that question all the time, right?
Okay.
I would say to you that if they don't, then my idea is not as good as I thought it was.
Okay.
Because what feature does Apple have on their iPhone that Google Android doesn't have anymore, and vice versa, right?
Right.
So the idea is, if you truly are an innovator, and I'm not comparing myself to him, but I use him as an example of somebody who never stopped innovating, right? And people who try to copy yesterday's idea were always a step behind on tomorrow's. If you look at, Steve Jobs, right? I mean, people slept around the corner overnight to not even know what they were online for, just that it was going to be new features. They had such faith on that it was going to be something so cool, right? And if you look at Tim Cook, who's made the company very profitable, is no one waits online anymore, right? So there is a difference, right, between being as good as everybody else, making sure you have what they have, and being the first guy. And
Jobs
I think
was maniacal about quality and getting it the way he wanted it done. He wasn't going to accept second best.
But not only that, and I think there's a skill, and I think Tim Cook is good at execution, right? But if you don't have an idea, what is there to execute? And so that's what I say to you. What's the parallel? The parallel is when Steve Jobs invented the smartphone, the number one phone in the world was the Motorola flip phone, right? And the only thing you could do in that phone was make a phone call and send a text. And when he came to someone like yourself and he said, you know what, I'm going to turn your phone into a camera. I'm going to turn it into a heart blood pressure machine. I'm going to turn it right into everything else but a phone. It took him 3 years before people said to him, I think that's a good idea, right? He was always so far ahead, right, of not inventing something that didn't exist, but reinventing something that does. And so I think if you approach innovation as a reinvention, and like I think Elon Musk is brilliant and different than Steve Jobs. I think he's an inventor of things that don't exist. I think Steve Jobs was a reinventor and imagined things in ways that no one could imagine how they can exist. And that's why he was able to scale so quickly, because he was never going to run out of things to reinvent. But I do think, the other parallel, right, is like, how could Thomas Edison ever top beating out the candle with the light bulb? Right? He kind of reached the zenith early on. He was never going to have something as good as that to go to. But Steve kept getting better and better as he understood the reinvention model in that sense. So, but I would say to you, the great thing about competing against the biggest companies in the world is they go really slow. So that's the competitive, that if you stay nimble, if you stay hungry, you'll always be a year or two ahead of them, no matter what. So anyway.
Do you guys do suggestion boxes with features and whatnot?
Sure. Oh, I mean, we're more informal than that. I'm saying you always can just send me an email or a text. And
yeah, I'm just saying one right now that I missed from Zoom, which is I dropped down, it says download chat.
Oh, don't worry, we got that on the list.
Is that available?
No,
okay.
But it's on the list to go do. There's going to be a whole bunch of improvements on the
Send
chat.
me an email.
Private chats, group chats, AI agent in the chat, all that stuff.
Okay, cool.
But never be shy about suggesting a suggestion. You don't have to assume that we thought about it. We're not always that smart. We're just smart on that one. That's all I meant. So,
thanks for let me ask the questions. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay, guys, I will see you tonight at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, and I'll see you in a couple hours. Have a great day, everybody.